LFC Daytrippers, brought to you by bookmakers.com.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the LFC Daytrippers. I'm Gavin. With me this week, I have got Shawnee and Emma. Keith should be back next week, but it is the three of us. It is Sunday night. It is the last Fatback 4 before the season starts. If I'm right, yeah, it is. So there's a lot to talk about. Strap yourselves in. This could go anywhere in the next hour or so. Like, subscribe, comments, all that sort of stuff. Put the bell icon on. And when we go live, you'll know about it. So, Liverpool start, well, they have a friendly tomorrow, but they start the league proper a week today away at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And look, we're not going to beat around the bush here. We're short of players. We're definitely short of players. We're a week out from the season starting. I know we're 3 weeks from the window closing, but as the season starts next Sunday, we are 100% short of players. Emma, are you getting worried yet?
I started worrying today, believe it or not.
Right.
I thought it was the no, it wasn't. Yeah, I thought it was like, yeah, be grand. I thought it was the coolest customer ever. But then today I was like, we're a week out. I'm starting to get worried.
Yeah.
I think anybody that comes in now, I don't even think is involved next week. So I'm worried that we have to start with what we have, and I'm worried with what that might be. So
does the worry kick in because Romeo Lavia is on the bench for Southampton on Friday night, doesn't see any action in a game where he would have been made for, and you're thinking, right, that's a big tell sign. Something's probably going to happen here, and then nothing has happened. And I know it's only Sunday, but like these days are ticking over now.
Honestly, last week when I was like chilled out and I was like, yeah, relax, everything be fine. I thought we'd have Lavia done by now. And even at that, he maybe probably wouldn't have started. But I think everybody needs a bit of a boost, whether it's Lavia or somebody. It's just to show that, look, we're topping up and it's not happened yet. So, yeah, that's what has me worried.
Okay. Shawnee, I know I think you're going to be on worried. I think you're annoyed. And I'm not trying to fucking set you up there. You are annoyed over this, and I think you've every right to be, and I'll explain to you my feelings on it in a bit. But the simple fact of the matter is, we are a week out from a Premier League starting. The argument is there that, like Emmett says, if we bring anybody in, whether that's tomorrow, fucking Tuesday, Wednesday, wherever it might be, the chance of them starting at Chelsea is minimal, I think, at best. And I know we've 3 weeks left in the window, but the season starts next week, and we should be ready for the season to start. And if an opportunity comes up when the season starts, and between the season starting and August the 31st, you go and take it, but you should have the foundation in place. And it's not, no matter what way you kind of look at it, it's not.
Yeah, we're not prepared. We're not prepared for kickoff. It starts next week. Like this time next Sunday, we'll be on deliberating the result, and dissecting and like we might be knee jerk one way or whatever way. But I just think the short and simple, Gav, is that we're not prepared. As far as the worrying thing, you're saying gonna be on worried. Like, the worry for me is it doesn't even seem like we have a plan. And for me, that's the most worrying thing. I'm not gonna get hung up and knee jerk and reactionary. I think times right now is when you need to probably kind of sit back and go, right, well, what's going on here? Why are we in this situation? And I don't like people making excuses for the owners, but like they may or may not have been caught off guard by Hendon, Fabinho's departures, but I'd argue that before both of them left, we needed a Lavia anyway, so it should have been done. And I'm of the mind. I like Lavia. I think he's a brilliant player. I don't think he's worth 45 million pounds. I really don't. But I think there's times when there's needs, there's wants and needs, and sometimes when you need something, you need to pay the premium. And the reason we need to pay the premium is because of poor planning in previous years has put us in this position. And we decided this year was going to be the rebuild. And we still seem shy on pulling the trigger on it. Look, I don't know about this Schmack the fella. I don't. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think he's going to be in this job for long. I think his appointment to begin with is silly. I don't know. A director of football is a position that needs long term. You can't hire a short term director of football. If the director of football you want is not available until a certain time, fucking make him available. You're Liverpool FC at the end of the day. And this is the thing that bugs the life out of me as well. We've been programmed now to believe we can't do Caicedo. Why? 100 million, we're not paying that. We won't give him his wages. We won't do Vardiol. Need 90 million, we won't pay that. Why? Fucking Liverpool FC. Look at the money we generate. And then people are making the argument, everything they get to put back in. We need external capital put into this club by the owners. We need a one-time injection maybe, just to catch us up on how far we are behind. And the problem is, I don't even think money is the issue. I don't see the plan we have, Gav, because if you're waiting, like your man Ugarte goes to PSG, right? Obviously, he was one of the most touted, sought after sixes in the window. He goes to PSG. You can't tell me that we couldn't afford to do a deal for that fella early in the window. You can't tell me that he wouldn't come play for Liverpool. Where's the planning? People going, we might do a Fabinho signing or a Yoke out of the blue. Let me tell you something. That was done under a completely different regime by different people. All of those people have since left the club. Fabinho, we seen it with Gakpo, he done it out of nowhere. That's Julian Ward's work. Alexis McAllister, that was Julian Ward's work. We paid a buyout clause for Szoboszlai. Fair fucking play. Everyone's up in arms going, oh, where's FSG out now? That should be par for the course of them going out and looking to bring in the best players available. Now, we swallowed the shite of Bellingham, Gav, for fucking 18 months. And you can't tell me we didn't. This isn't one of them things where, we were never in. Not like the Mbappe thing. It's not like we were in for Bellingham. He wanted to play for Liverpool. We wouldn't fucking front the bill. We wouldn't front the bill because we knew we had to do a rebuild. Okay, again, step back, have a look at it. Probably right. So why are we dicking around? That's what I don't get. It's 2 weeks to go to kick off, and I don't give a bollocks, Gav, about what West Ham have and haven't done, what Everton have and haven't done, what City have and haven't done. I don't give a bollocks about any other club and what they do. The focus should be primarily on Liverpool. We've what fucking faffing about with our cocks in our hand here in a window where there's very, very little on the market that we can use, and the fucking players that are available, we won't pay for them. So I don't know. And people coming out expecting Klopp to fucking start throwing owners under. He's just not going to do it. Klopp will happily say nothing and walk at the end of his contract and be just like, right, and that's the end of it. And I'm sure when he has time to talk, he'll talk. He's just not going to do that. He's all about harmony. He said it in roundabout ways about owners being more risk adverse. He's made it publicly known. He said this, I'm not paraphrasing. He's like, I am not the decision maker. He says, they might come to you a little surprise. I am not the decision maker. He said that, Gav.
Yeah, you see, my thing on all this is that, like, I still don't believe, I still don't believe Klopp will be that naive to think that he's lost Fabinho and Henderson and he's not going to replace them, right? I still see Liverpool bringing in two midfielders before the end of the window. My whole thing on this is that, and look, me and you have butted heads all week on this, really, and other lads, and we've discussed it loads, right? And I don't disagree with anybody that says they're frustrated, they're worried, it's not good enough. I absolutely get that. I'm trying to look at it in not even a different way. I'm starting to believe, right, that, and I actually do believe, it's not starting, I do believe that if Henderson and Fabinho had stayed at this club, I don't think they're signing another midfielder. Genuinely, right? Which, going back to your point, they should have brought somebody in. I agree with you, because I've been banging. That would have left 8 midfielders if they stayed, and I was pushing all the time. You need 9, you need 9, you need 9. So I'm with you on bringing one in, whether that's a Lavia or a Thuram or whatever position you want. We needed kind of 9, right? There's arguments over another sort of 8 sort of player, but the 6 one makes maybe more sense. The thing about this for me is that if you're letting Henderson, Fabinho go, right? Okay, and you're going to bring 2 lads in, fine, but they sanctioned these moves, okay? They sanctioned them because both players were under contract, so they sanctioned the moves for these 2 players. Now, when they sanctioned them, I think, and I look, I understand that things take time, negotiation. I get all that. You see it in loads of transfers. Some of them you think, oh, that's happened, and that must have happened straight away. None of them really do. They take negotiation, unless it's a mad fucking figure, and the club just goes, yeah, listen, here you go, good luck, you know what I mean? But the reaction from Liverpool, even if they're walking their bollocks off, right? The simple fact of the matter is, Jordan Henderson 3 weeks ago, everyone knew he was leaving the football club. And Fabinho, possibly 4 weeks ago now, knew he was leaving the football club. Now, if Klopp was happy with his 8, that's his take, right? Or the club, or whatever way you want to fucking frame it. If they were okay with that, right, they're 8, that's their thing, that's their prerogative, and we have to live with that, and we can argue over it and be not happy with it. But that's where they were. Those 2 players, we've had 3 weeks on. 3 to 4 weeks, whatever way you kind of shake it down. And we are still sitting here with nobody in, right? Now, I'm sure if Liverpool sign 2 midfielders in the next 6 days, people go, oh, they're 2 bleeding great signings, and will he start at Chelsea? And the whole mindset will change, because that's how football works. One good thing and everyone's great. One bad thing and it's a fucking disaster. But still, my frustration with all this is that they probably most likely will get 2 players in, and we'll talk centre halves in a bit. But the reaction to it, a reaction to something that they actually put in motion by sanctioning these moves, I think has been awful. I think it's absolutely been awful, because Liverpool could have said, no, he's not for sale, and went on and on and on, and in the background said, we're keeping them players until we've lined 2 up, and then we might let them go, and then we're ready to go. Boom, we're in, we're done, right? But they haven't, and we're sitting here less than 7 days now, right, till the season starts. Jordan Henderson's off playing football with his new team. Fabinho, I'm sure, will be playing very soon for his new team. When did we go to Germany? It must be 3 weeks ago now we went to Germany. And this was all in motion. And Liverpool are still sitting here, like you said, with their cock in their hands going, we get two things sorted. And this isn't only down to Klopp. It's not only down to this Jorg fella. It's not down to the owners. It's a collective where decisions are being made through a chain of command, whatever way you want to put them in different sections. Yes, he can go. Yes, he can go. We were going with 8. We now have 6. But they're not going till we sort this out. And it looks to me like they've left. And we're still fucking wandering around the place going, where are the 2 players? I've no issue with negotiating for Lavia and saying, listen, Southampton, we're not paying 50. We'll pay 45. But I want that 10 days ago. I want it 10 days ago. And if you're in for another midfielder and you think we're willing to pay 50 for another midfielder and someone wants 70, you go, well, we're writing that off 10 days ago. But we're 7 days out in the season. And there's no doubt Liverpool will look stronger by the 31st of August. But the 31st of August isn't the marker, really. The 31st of August is the last day you can improve yourself. The 13th or the 12th or whatever of August is when you should be in place and ready to go.
If you're doing deals in the last week of the window, you've had a bad window. Simple as that. You've not planned correctly. If you're doing deals in the last 2 or 3 days of the window, it should be a fucking disaster. We don't do deadline deal days where fucking we pull something out of the bag. Like there you go. This would be my take on it. Look at the last, for example, the last like committee. Use that term, right? I know it's fucking sort of frowned upon the Liverpool fan base, but look, for example, a couple of years back, Liverpool were looking to buy Jamal Lewis from Norwich. And they had that price, and they went bid 10 million, rejected, bid 12 million. Didn't hear anything. But then we just announced Simicast, and we're like, we bought this fella for 12 million because we weren't willing to pay the 20 million that Norwich wanted. This was the backup, and that's done, and he's in right now. Whatever about the quality of the player or whatever, they had a plan, and that was it. They weren't willing to move. Like, if you're not going to pay the fucking money for Lavia, who's next in the door? Why is Lavia not playing last night or the other night? And we're dithering about. Like, because now I could be wrong. As far as I can see, we're the only fucking team in for him. Like you were saying, if players come in the next 6 days, they won't feature against Chelsea. I genuinely wouldn't see them before the fucking international break. I would not be surprised. Because that's how Klopp has operated. Unless you're an attacking player who he knows, look, you could just fucking go in there. Attacking players, the system is not as important in terms of a player who is closer to the goal because it's like, look, you just fucking ground the ball and do your thing. But someone like Lavia, or the thing is, I can't even give you another name. And I don't even know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I couldn't give you another name. Like this Dewsbury Hall, I don't know what position, I don't know what sort of midfielder he is. But I know fucking one thing's for sure. He's not good enough to be playing in the fucking base of air midfield. That's a fact. I don't care what anyone says. There's no. Where's the plan? Where's the cohesion? Like, what the fuck? Who's going to start next weekend? People are going to tell me Curtis will be all right away at Chelsea.
Well, it's not even. It's not. It's not even.
I
It's
watched
not
the
even.
show the other night, and you said Matt was like, "Oh, Curtis playing the six. He's not doing a very fucking good job, is he?"
No, but it's not even.
Didn't
It's not
play
even.
in 21.
It's not even Curtis Jones playing the six. It's my whole thing on Curtis Jones is that we've never in any show on this channel, and I doubt any other Liverpool channel.
None of them have.
Never
None of them
ever
have.
mentioned Curtis Jones
None
in
of
the
them
six. So
have.
my whole point on that is you're fitting things in for the sake of fitting them in. You know, and it's and this is where, you know, this is where like that's where it starts to worry me. Where you're going Curtis Jones in the six, it's just not it. It's just simply not it. It might be it on Sunday because of where we are, but it's not through design. And you should be going into a season where you have designed, you know, your squad to be able to do A, B, C, D, and E. But Curtis Jones, a month ago, A, B, C, D, E, and F all the way to Z is never starting in the six for Liverpool. It's just he's never doing it, and that's the worry. Emma, like when we look at this, and you know, Shawnee's saying, you know, you bring two in, you mightn't see them, but we're gone past that. We can't like look if we were sitting here with 8 midfielders, right, and you said, so they might bring in your man Andre from Fluminense, isn't it? They might bring him in, and you say to me, you mightn't see him till after the international window or the international break. You go, yeah, I'm all right with that because we've 8 lads here, but we're sitting with 6. We're sitting with 6, and 2 of them haven't fucking trained. 2 of them have not trained. They've not trained with the first team squad.
Well,
They might be doing their own thing, but they haven't trained.
I said last week that it feels like we got it caught a little bit cold with Henderson and Fabinho, but these boys were on their way out anyway, so we should have had some sort of a plan in place. So it wasn't like these lads were like 26 and 27, and all of a sudden Saudi Arabia come in and decide to bid on them and we're caught cold. We should already have been planning for who replaces Fabinho and who replaces Henderson. So where are we in terms of that? Like, so it's a case that, right, we probably expected them to go last summer. Saudi Arabia have come in and decided to take them this summer. where's that fucking list that we made for who we want to replace them? And you fast track it, and it seems like maybe we didn't have a plan in place for
But
who replaces them. And that's the worrying thing, because we should be able to fast forward. So we had the likes of Diaz. We knew that Mane was
Mane.
gone,
Gakpo, I
right?
think, as
So
well.
we said, right, look, looks like Spurs are moving for this lad. Boom, go and get him.
Mm.
We knew. Now I know it wasn't public knowledge that Firmino was gone, but I would imagine it was knowledge within the club that he wasn't going to sign a new deal. We went and got Gakpo. There doesn't seem to have been the same amount of planning for the midfield as there was for either of those. And that's the worrying thing, that we've not gone bang. And I know what Shawnee is saying, that Lavia, I don't think Lavia is worth the 50 million. I really don't think he is. Not at 19. He probably will eventually be worth the 50 million. But why haven't we been able to go, oh, right, you're taking him? Right, grand, bang, we'll just go and get this lad.
But this is my whole point. They're both
And
under
it looks like
contract.
we're out of ideas.
But they're both under contract. So Liverpool held all the cards here. Liverpool could have held the cards and said, listen, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, we are willing to let you go under our terms. Right? Which our terms would be, we have identified Romeo Lavia and another, right? And we are going to, you're going to have to sit tight, because if we don't get these done, you're going nowhere. So I don't care what they're fucking offering you, Saudi Arabia. And listen, it's not even that Saudi Arabia. It could have been clubs in Italy or Germany or France or Spain. They should have turned it around and said, because the funny thing is, how many times do you hear not willing to let them go, or are hesitant to let them go because they're not too sure what's out there in order to replace them? You hear it all the time across fan media itself, journalists, whoever it might be. You hear it all the time. Liverpool held all the cards in this situation and could have said 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago to Fabinho and Henderson, you're going to Germany. You're both going to Germany. You're both playing fucking games. And if it materialises that we can identify and make 2 signings happen, we will then sanction your MILF. That's where we stand, because you're under contract at Liverpool Football Club. They've sanctioned it. And they've known about it for 3 to 4 weeks. And look, I keep caveating away, I know things can be hard to negotiate, but if it's too hard to negotiate, move away from it. If it's too hard to do, go away and say, look, Southampton, there's the fucking bid. Look, I'm surprised Liverpool are going anywhere near Southampton right now. If they've put in 37 and gone to 41 and the Southampton 150, I'm amazed Liverpool haven't turned around and went, no, good luck, we're out. Because they've done it loads of times with players. But
Yeah, but Gav,
that to me is a signal. And then on top of that, he doesn't play Friday night, and we're still sitting here 48 hours later where Liverpool should be going. He didn't play Friday night. There's the bid. Are you taking it? Yes. And on Saturday/Sunday, like today, Liverpool announced that they've agreed a deal in principle, and we'll all wait till Tuesday for it to be done. Sorry, Sean.
no, just we're all like, this is all prefaced by the fact that this is a new regime. Like, the frustration for me, Gav, is it's not just this summer this has happened. Like, this is becoming a common theme with Liverpool in the transfer window. Not getting the right amount of business done. And I don't think anyone could argue that. I think it's just one too many windows now gone by where we are one player or more short. And like, haven't already been windows behind. It sounds like a fucking broken record. I'd imagine if you had went back before the first game last season, probably saying the same things, parroting the same ideas. Am I going to be short? And again, it comes down to what would the club see as a success next year? What would Klopp deem a success? I'm thinking in top of my head, top 4, top 5. He probably thinks I've enough to get me through till the end of August. And if he does, fucking good on him. But that's the thing. Where is the drive to kick on? And I agree with you. Fabinho and Hendo should have been at least one of them. At least one of them. You could have said to Hendo, like, you know what? You're gone. Or even Fabinho, because they're paying 40 million by him. Chances are you're going to get most up front. Off you pop. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd be up in arms if Henderson was starting at the 6 against
Yeah,
Chelsea.
but Johnny, would you not rather have
But
the
the
argument
thing
with
is,
the people there rather than nobody there?
They should have literally turned around and said to Henderson, do you know what? That's a lovely fucking offer they've given you. The 10 million, right? Forget, we want 20 million for it. Simple as that. I don't want to be here fucking playing paupers. You're the football club's captain. You signed a new deal not too long, and that'll be the hill you die on. You wanted your extra few quid, and what that's done is it's protected our value too. So if this crowd in Saudi Arabia want you, it's 20 million, and it'll be 20 million and deal accepted when we say so. Not when you use your fucking journos to kick up and start causing a little storm so you eventually find your way out. We've work to do. You know that being club captain. He would have been sat in like, you're absolutely fucking off your head if you think he wasn't sat in meetings with Klopp and Hogan or whoever else is doing deals going, this is what we're going to do, because he's club captain. And that would have been part, and he should have been sat going, look, you're not moving anywhere until we've someone in the door who can replace your minutes. Simple as that. And once he's in, off you pop, no bother. You can fucking do whatever you want. And they haven't done that. Now, people are like, we sell Hendo and we sell Fabinho. Surely we move on to Lavia now. And then we go in with this fucking bollocky bill approach where it's 37 million and then it's 41 million. I'm with you, Gav. Walk away.
I was amazed. I said this when the second...
They've left it so long in this window that no matter what they do now, with the quality that's just not there, all right? The quality is just not there. And if you want to buy now, you're paying for potential. United are at the paying 80 million for a lad who scored 9 goals in senior football. And you pay for potential. We have to take the fucking risk now. We've no other opportunity. We've no choice. Are we going to do this thing where we go, we'll have to just sit on him because the player we want's not available? Well, that's your fucking fault. Make him available. And if he's not available, use your scouts to get someone who he can coach. And if you have to pay the extra money, fucking do it. That's what annoys me. Like the fucking last 2 summer windows, and including this one, so far, it's not close yet, but look at the work we done last year. Diabolical. A fucking shocking window. I think one of the players is still at the club. Darwin Núñez is still here. Carvalho's gone. And that other lad has gone on loan, Ramsey. That's all we signed after a season where we were literally fighting on all fronts in football until the last fucking week of the season. And that's all they supplemented that squad with. I don't get it. Like, Gav, you and Keith, like you said, we've knocked heads on this in WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, everything. It's like, and we disagree fucking quite frequently, but I think I'd like to think behind it all that there's some sort of rationale and thinking behind why that certain person has that opinion. But at the end of the day, I question seriously, and I know you and Keith said it. I think we'll have a big window because it has to be a big window.
It has to be, yeah.
All right.
It wasn't down to. Oh, I'm 100% confident this is what Liverpool Football Club will do. My argument was it has to be a big window. And I don't care what you get back in, but we have to go out and spend X amount. Yeah,
I'm not being knee-jerk when I say this. I had reservations massively about what FSG see in Liverpool. Or are we a serious football club? Or do we just happen to have a fucking unicorn of a manager at the helm who's squeezing every single drop out of this model? And he's won it all. Don't get me wrong. There was, even when we were winning, there was always questions whether this model would be sustainable in terms of keeping us at the top. I like to think, would we all agree now that that's been answered? And the answer is no, right?
I think the answer is very close to it being no, because not only because, but it's not. It's Shawnee. Sorry, it's not only that, like, oh, you know, like this situation itself. Like, I'm of the opinion. Look. If we go into this season and you have Henderson and Fabinho, we're having an argument on the 31st of August.
Absolutely.
Right? But I'd rather have the argument with the players there than the players not there. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather say, well, look, he could do this, he could do that, but you can't make an argument for things that don't exist. Do you know what I mean? And the money stuff, listen, Liverpool are going to have to go and get two midfielders. It's going to cost them, you would argue, 100 million quid now in the next week, right? Or the next 3 weeks. right? So the money is there. My biggest thing on this is that they'll probably spend the money, but they're doing it all wrong. They're doing it all. And someone said there earlier, I think it might have been, I'll get the name up in a minute, saying like, why, question, Thor says, Gav, held all the cards, question mark. That's what idiots said about Brexit. No, my point on this is that Liverpool should have held control over their transfer window. They were fully in control of it with regards to Szoboszlai, McAllister, couple gone. We knew about it. We're happy with it, right? We were happy with most of what was leaving. We were okay with it because we were brought in two and we were in full control. And then we just gave all the control away. And I don't mind giving all the control away, for a very small period of time because you're going to take it back by reacting to those players leaving. But we haven't. We haven't. And no matter what, we'll bring players in, like I said, and people will be happy when we bring them in. But you still have to question the process from, I don't know, Pep Linders right up, Klopp up, just above Klopp up. I don't know what it is. But you have to question. Like, Emma, I'm telling you now, if we go into next week on Sunday and we're sitting here without any more players added to it, I'm fucking sitting next Sunday going, Jesus, we could do with Jordan Henderson or Fabinho here. Like, that's where we are.
I don't think that the owner's ambition and Klopp's ambition align. And I've said this for a long time that probably the worst thing that we could have done is win the league in 2020, because that was like 30 years. We've won the league now. That's great. I think FSG's ambition is to finish in the top four. I don't think their ambition is to win. I think their ambition is to compete, if that makes sense. And 100% agree with what you just said there, is that I would rather start the season and go in against Chelsea with Fabinho and Henderson in the starting lineup or even in the squad rather than to start it with, oh, we've got 52 million in the bank. The first month of our season, that there's 5 or 6 games. You don't win a league in August, September, but you can definitely lose a league in August or September. And if we don't get off to a good start, which I'm not saying that we won't, we probably will. We could be sitting here in a month's time thinking, Jesus Christ, we've got whatever 12 points from the last 4 or 5 games. That's a great start, but they're not putting us in a very good position to start off a league, and I think starting short is it could cost us come the end of the season.
Yeah, and it costs you. It definitely costs you with regards to. It can cost you winning the league because we know the standard that's being set by Liverpool and City really over the last 4 or 5 years with the points total. But it wouldn't be disastrous in a top 4, top 5 push. But that's where people are getting upset. Are we lining ourselves up here to just go, let's do 2 points a game here, get 76 and that should get you? That's not how you should be looking at it. Jake Semester says, Gav, what happened to the apparently all the groundwork being done on the players? This is my entire point on this, Jake. Right? Liverpool, look, Shawnee is annoyed, right? We're all annoyed. But Shawnee's probably the most outspoken about this. But Shawnee has consistently said he has no problem with the business Liverpool do. It's the volume of it. He's no problem with any player Liverpool bring in, right? Because he trusts. That's where the trust comes with Klopp. But it's the volume of it. And we've all spoken so many times over so many years. And sometimes it uses a stick to beat the club with that. They're very cute in what they do. They're very zoned in. They know their targets. They know how to hit that target. And it's great. And, where other teams are spending 70 and 80 million, we're spending 40 million and we're getting better return off it. And we've no issue with being like that. There should never be an issue with that. If you're going out and spending half what they're spending and you're getting as good as, if not better results, great. But my whole point on this, Jake, is that groundwork would have been put in, right? It always is with football clubs for months on players. But when your 2 players in midfield that, whether you like them or not, whether you want them to start against Chelsea or not, are on the verge of leaving the club, that's when the groundwork speeds up. That's when you start turning groundwork into foundations of a deal. And you go in and you say, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and then 2 are going, and we're going to come out with this where the 2 players leaving are nearly an afterthought because we've acted. This is what my whole point on it. And I'm being honest, I've given loads and I've been very patient in saying, look, they'll get it done. But we're a week out here now, and there's a fella sitting on the bench at fucking Southampton away at Sheffield Wednesday, not getting used. And we're fucking playing ring a rosy with Southampton. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. That's where my whole thing, Jay, comes from, is that groundwork is always put in, but you need to solidify that and you need to act on it. And to me, they're either not acting on it, right? Or they're playing this game with Southampton that they've never played with anybody. They've never played with anyone.
This is this fella. This is your man.
Well, it could be a man, but then the talk was that. But you remember they brought back there's that many of them now. Didn't they bring back your man that was very close to Klopp after he'd left it, but he brought him back. He said he was on a sabbatical. I don't know his name. I remember reading it, that he's come back and he's very close to Klopp, and this was where Klopp was going to take control of, a lot of control on transfers and stuff like that. But it just feels to me like they've just missed a step here. And instead of acting, going, right, we missed a step there, we need to sort this out. We have to be wandering around in circles with Southampton here. Liverpool don't bid 3 times on a player. When ain't the last player Liverpool have bid 3 times on? Doesn't happen.
Never heard.
Never heard of. Never heard of. You go once, you maybe go twice, and if you go twice, the first one's probably not even made public. The second one's made public, and we think it's just a bid and we're wrong. But we haven't done that. We definitely have not done that. Shawnee, look, this is probably a mute fucking point at this stage, and I'll ask you both, so I'll get your thinking cap on. But like, Lavia is there, right? Like, I think our biggest thing is that we haven't acted and we haven't got it done, and we're gonna go close to the end of the window here probably, unless we throw 2 out during the week and me and you are talking absolute bollocks, which is there's a good chance for happening, right? But
we're not talking bollocks.
No. What I mean is that we're thinking in our head like it's not gonna happen. Why aren't we doing it? And it could be done. But player wise, you said it earlier. What's on the market? What's gettable? What suits us? If Liverpool, and you'd have to presume they are working on something, where do you think they're working on? Like, what is there names out there you think they should be? I know there's names you think they should be.
This is the thing, Gav. Like, if this was Chelsea, City, or even United, it could be anyone. But because it's us and how we operate, like, if they are serious about moving this forward, you're going out and you're getting Lavia, and then you're getting your man Decore from Palace, for example, and you're going to drop them 2 in there, and you're like, we'll go with them. Decore, full season in the Premier League. Apparently, we looked at him when he was in France, when he was playing for Lens. So, like, homework is done there. Pay what's needed, all right? And fucking take him out there. And get Lavia, because there's one that they obviously want, that bidding on him, all right? I can't for the life of me understand who Liverpool are going for. And it's not because it's not this big fucking, we're so good at moving in the shadows. I haven't seen it from this regime, this fucking short term regime of this jog fella. Like, the cunts living in Ibiza. That's not right here or there. This, like you said, these can all be done remotely. It's completely nothing. Like, but who is it? If it's not Lavia, because you and I both know, after that second bid is rejected, it's like, we're not going back.
I fully expected
in the past
word to come out straight away. Liverpool have done. They're gone. Good luck.
Paul Joyce, Liverpool had a second bid rejected for Oak. They expected to look at alternatives next way. Gone. Good luck. Out the gap. And I'd respect that, because that would obviously show that there is some sort of plan or outlier that they have there where they're going, we'll go to our sweet spot. If you're not willing to meet that, we're going to go here. And they go down the chain. And obviously, you might have to sacrifice quality as you go down. I don't see the 2 players now that Liverpool are going to bring in that are going to make us challengers. And that's my issue. Should you be challenging off the back of a rebuild? You throw Moises Caicedo and Lavia into that team, and we're having a go at the league next year. And that's a fucking fact. That is a fact.
That's 150 million quid.
So what?
No, I'm just saying, like that's 150 million quid, and it's
See, there you go.
But,
Pre-programmed to go.
no, I'm not.
That's
I'm not
150
No, I'm not
million.
pre-programmed. What I'm trying to say to you is the price on them is known. The price on these two players are known.
So why can't Kev hit the nail on the fucking
but
head
they're
there
never.
in the chat?
Are they going to do it?
Arsenal have had over 600 million pumped in by the Cronkies during Arteta's reign. By hook or by crook, they've done it. And they've had a fucking go. And I watched
get
them
that.
today,
What I'm trying to say is that
good.
walking in
Why-
the shadows,
why-
Shawnee, is one thing. But these players, we know the price of these players. Lavia's been known for so long. Soicedo, whoever you go for, the price, well, a Thuram, a Gravenberch, maybe not. But Soicedo and Lavia, you know, it's 100 million for Soicedo. It's 50 million for him. What I'm saying to you is, it's known for so long. We're sitting here with a week to go in the window, right? And even if you sign Lavia and you sign Soicedo, everyone will go, hurrah, that's fucking amazing. My whole point is that you knew 4 weeks ago that these would cost this money. Why didn't you do it?
Yeah, but that's the problem.
The money. Listen, if Liverpool signed them two for 150 million pounds tomorrow, right?
Why
they would have spent.
Why can't we?
There shouldn't be a reason why we can't. There shouldn't be a reason why we can't. Because if you think about it, that's 150 million, 180. It's 240 million pounds spent in the summer, with 50 back, which is 190 million. Everyone knows Liverpool have to spend money, and people saying like, I can't see them spending that money. That's the market. Declan Rice is 105 million. Enzo Fernandez is 100 million plus. Those players United have signed the player for 70 million pounds. I've never fucking heard of him. Do you know what I mean?
That tells me, look, listen, I'm just going to be deadly honest with you. I acknowledge everything good FSG have done for this club. I've had me fill of the cunts now because I'm not going to sit around banning FSG out hashtags on because it has no fucking bearing on what will happen with the club moving forward. It won't make a fucking single iota of a difference. Look at the shit show that's going on over at Manchester United. Look at it, they've had games called off. They've had fellas coming in with 6 billion cash looking to buy the club and bounce. And the Glazers don't give a bollocks. They'll sit on their hands. They don't give a shit. It's owners. They are the current custodians of this club. They're not contracted owners. They will go when they feel like going. It's as simple as that. But I've 100% had my fill of these cunts. And I'll tell you this why. We've Jurgen Klopp, who pisses all over any other manager that's been in the game since Alex Ferguson. Simple as that. And we're fucking burning through his years, making him perform miracle after miracle after miracle. And it didn't come in last year for them. The fucking luck was up. And you have to give him another go. Klopp would get 10 years off Liverpool fans for the way they would. The Liverpool fans will never, ever, ever, ever turn on him. And these fuckers are taking advantage of that. And they know, like Emmett says, 30-year way, fucking done dusted. That's them off here back 5-6 years. Imagine Rodgers had won the league. Honestly, imagine Rodgers had won the league. Imagine the fucking state we'd be in. This is the problem, Gav. They're burning through the players. Alisson Becker, greatest goalkeeper we've ever had. Born in his prime years by not fucking surrounding him with world-class players for him to kick on. And fucking all of these players should have an extra 2 or 3 titles under their belt. And people turn around and go, spending guarantees you nothing. But I tell you one thing, there's a fucking way higher percentage chance that we've more titles in the bag had they loosened up the purse strings a little bit. They put fuck all into the club at the very same time as taking nothing out. We generate these. All we're asking for right now is a single fucking injection of 100 million in to buy someone like Soicedo to move. Can't tell me you wouldn't play for Liverpool. We fucking wanted him. We wanted him in the summer. We wanted him in January.
100% players for Liverpool.
This is the thing, and people are pre-programmed to go. There's an 80 million bid gone in for Soicedo, and it's a mystery club. And the fucking automatic thing to do is it's definitely not Liverpool. Why? That's what fucking annoys me.
Yeah, what annoys me is that mystery clubs and all this, right? Fuck off, annoy me, right? But what I'm saying is that it's not like Soicedo's come on the market today and Liverpool have went, we could have got him, but we spent fucking this amount of money and we just don't have it to stretch to that. It's not like that. Like Caicedo's been in the fucking front window of of the shop since the end of May. He simply has. The only thing I would say on Klopp is that, and this is coming, by the way, right? He is going to be under severe pressure, right? On a footballing sense, with the way this window's gone. But also the way he came out and he said we need players, we need this, we need that. And you can measure that down to, he's letting the owners know there, right? Or he's in control, he's getting much more of a say. You can, like everything with Liverpool, you can slide that argument whatever way you feel like sliding it. But he's going to come under severe pressure though. And I know you were saying and it's a fair point. He's a man of principle, and he won't throw the owners on the bus. But I think it might get to a stage where Klopp's going to be asked, listen, you've said all this all summer. Can you tell us the reason? If for argument's sake, Liverpool don't sign two midfielders, right, or the window doesn't work out as we want to, right? It's not going to work out perfect now, but it may by the end of the summer go, we've enough players now. We've got them in. It was late, it wasn't good enough, but we've got it there, right? But he's definitely going to be asked the question at some stage. Listen, you've spoken all this all summer. Can you tell us the reason why it hasn't happened? Who it's down to? And what's going to happen here is that I'm with you. He's a man of principle, and he'll go, listen, things happen, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to absolutely lay into him. Absolutely fucking lay into him. Emma, I can see this where if the window doesn't go perfect or finishes on a really high note and Klopp starts getting asked questions about this, there is going to be basically the media are going to come down on this fella like a ton of fucking bricks, and they're going to pull up every quote he's given all summer, and they're going to question him. Is that you talking when you said it, or is it the club talking when you said it? What's it going to be? Because he's not that Klopp's got away with it for so long. I think he's spoken it very well. But this is a different fucking level. Like the players leaving and the lack of players coming in. I think he's under severe pressure on and off the pitch. If this doesn't go well in the next week, but certainly 3.
He is, but I think what he's done is at the start of the window, he kind of covered it with, we might bring in a few early, and then others might take 6 to 7 weeks to bring in. So I think.
So you think he's still in a comfortable position himself in his own head?
My concern is right. So we look at in the past. We tried to sign Werner, didn't get him. We brought in Jota, right? To me, is a success. It was, what's your man's name? Was it Draxler? And we didn't get him. We got Salah.
I know.
Brandt,
sorry. Right. Yeah. But who's the backup to Lavia?
That's
why
the
aren't
point.
And why aren't we making it?
This is the thing.
My concern is that we're stuck on Lavia, and we don't seem to be moving. Like you said earlier on, Gav, that we don't tend to go in 3 times for a player. So we go in twice. Why aren't we bidding for the next guy? Like to me, the concern is that it's Lavia. There's no even mention of somebody else, and that's a concern for me. That's lack of planning, and I said it earlier on that we should have already been planning for the Fabinho and Henderson replacements for, even if it was next season or January or whatever.
Because we've said we're going to have this conversation in 12 months anyway. We've said this.
Where is it?
Yeah.
There's no. Why don't we turn around and go, right, fuck yous, we're just going to go and buy Alvarez, or we're just going to go and buy whoever, Andre or whatever. That doesn't. It's not very Liverpool-like to be like, go on, please. We're nearly half begging them to give us this player, and we don't seem to have a backup plan. In terms of Klopp, until we know what his, I know there was big discussions about it earlier on. Until we know what his does he have the first say? Does he have the last say? Does he have both? It's very difficult to try and kind of lay a certain amount of blame at his door. But yeah, 100% questions need to be asked if it's a case that we don't get the targets that we need. And why wasn't there backup targets?
Because, but like when we go back a couple of months ago, right, and all this stuff around Man City and the charges against them and stuff like that. And my big issue, like City, people say, see, look, they're self-sustainable now and all. I've no issue with that. My issue is where City came from and stuff like that, right? But when we are talking about that, and we're talking about the model of this and the model of that and whatever else, right? But this isn't even Liverpool keeping to a model. This isn't even Liverpool. Honestly, it's not even Liverpool keeping to a model because, like somebody mentioned it there earlier, the amount of wages we've taken off this bill in the last 2 months
25 million.
is fucking huge. You know what I mean? It's huge. And like people think, oh, what's 25 million? 25 million wages is massive. It's a massive amount of wage. You know what I mean? They make more and more money every year. You see that, so they're able to up their wages every year anyway, and then things like that. But it's not even whether you like the model, as you put it, or you don't like it, or you like bits or pieces or whatever. This doesn't even feel like that. You know what I mean? If you actually take 35 million off the wage bill, take the 50 million you've got for the players and add it in, Liverpool have done fuck all spend wise. If you want to go down that route, do you know what I mean? Like Liverpool can easily pay the fees. The accounts show that. Do you know what I mean? The accounts show that Liverpool can pay the fees, and people will go on about the wages, but Liverpool have actually cleared up. You know, you'd argue it's probably not 35 million now because of the two players you've signed. But
No, it's 35 million.
After the
Including what
two
we're
boys,
paying
right?
them.
Maybe right.
Yeah, it's 45 without them.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So Liverpool are in probably the best position they've been in a long time, right? With the spots in the squad you can fill, you're not overfilling it. The wages, where the wages are at the club, because you remember it was astronomical on the old contracts, as they call it, where they were getting mad bonuses for, winning the corner and all sorts of stuff. They're in the perfect position to go and do this. And it's just like, why are we sitting here for a week to go? It's
you have to
just
remember
mad in my head.
Lavia is not earning crazy money at Southampton.
No, but you can bring Lavia in on 100 grand a week and it won't make a dent in 35 million.
I think that probably quadruples what he's probably getting at Southampton, if not more.
But that puts him on 5 million a year.
Yeah,
we're sitting here on 35 million surplus on wages.
But why not offset that again? Like you said, so you can go out and buy these other players that are like people have mentioned Kimmich, people have mentioned De Jong. De Jong, like I looked this up yesterday. De Jong is on like something like 620.
Yeah, but that's why he's staying at Barca.
Sterling a week. Yeah, but these are people that. But Lavia has to be on. If he's on more than 15 grand a week, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
At Southampton.
Yeah. Programmer says 810 watching, 226 likes. Not good enough. Yeah, listen, hit the like if you can. There's loads and loads of you watching. Hit the like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you comment because I'm reading loads of them here, to be honest with you. Ashley L says, sources in Saudi Arabia have said that Al Ittihad are preparing a bid for Mo Salah. The Egyptian talisman will earn 180 million over 2 seasons. Rumour offering of Liverpool is 60 million pounds. Now, will you have a day off? And I'm not saying that report isn't true, but no, will you stop it? Why would you be even entertaining that? Antico says Salah will go this summer. He feels he will go this summer. It's absolute madness. But lads, look, we've a week to go to Chelsea. We're not happy with how the things have gone with regards to the transfer window, and how we've, I suppose, looked to improve and looked to react to things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Shawnee, what's the best case scenario in this week before Chelsea?
Best case scenario is you sign players, 2 players who fill that void in the squad, and you can kind of go, we'll see how we get on against Chelsea and get these lads into training for Bournemouth. Get minutes in their legs in Bournemouth and get them ready for the next game. And then hope by the time the international break comes around, we're back in a full Anfield, ready to attack a season with a decent base that we've started off with. At the moment, I don't see it. I don't. Like I said, I don't see it. I don't see that being the reality, even at the end of the 31st of August. Because I've always maintained, Gav, that this window is going to show whether these owners are serious enough club or not. I don't think they are. To my dismay, anyway. Because we were all under the idea that this had to be done, and it's not being done. Not yet, anyway. And if it's being done, like you said, Gav, it hasn't been done correctly, because I don't see what the club's plan is. Simple as that. Like, I'd be normally fucking gleaming, dying for the ball to start, dying for us to get going. Coming, like, honestly, even in years previous, I genuinely couldn't give a fucking fiddler's flute about the game next week. But I'm not excited for it at all. I'd normally be buzzing. Friday night football, Burnley, Man City. Couldn't give a bollocks. I'm not even going into half of these fancy football leagues anymore.
No, well, I'm not going near them because I just let myself down by starting
It's
them
just
and
a
then
load
not
of
doing
bollocks.
anything
It's a
come
loud-
October.
It's a load of bollocks, Gav. It's a load of bollocks. Like, I pulled out, stepped away a little bit last year in terms of getting massively engrossed in it. And I think it's probably the best thing I ever did, because just looking at it and fucking the big picture, the games are fucking, it's in a fucking heap. It's in shite. Like, imagine reading that headline that was thrown in there about Salah this time last year. Imagine seeing that video of Henderson walking around in a fucking O'Neill's kit with number 10 on the back of it in the middle of a cricket ground in fucking Saudi Arabia. Like, I'm thinking to myself, what sort of fucking reality are we living in here, that this fella is reportedly collecting over 400 grand a week? The game is in fucking tatters. It's in ruins. It's the biggest load of bollocks. Honestly, I can't get myself up for it. Maybe next week something might change, but I genuinely just I can't get myself over it. Tell the truth, you are gonna pull the plug in this fucking pod tonight. I'd imagine you're in the same
Yeah.
boat as well.
No, I was going to put. I wasn't going to
just talk the same shite that we
I was-
talk all the time.
I was going to.
I
I
was
was
going
going.
in the fucking pub.
Well, I was going to because I felt that what's changed. That was the first thing, and the second thing is we got a dog 3 days ago, and he's off the wall mental. I'm exhausted. I was over in a veterinary hospital at 4 o'clock this morning with him, so it's like I'm all over the shop. But the reason, and I said to you, no, we're doing it, is because I wanted to have this conversation. Not about let's sign this fella, let's talk about the whole thing and the process and stuff like that. Because, like, you know, we are three like just blokes talking about football, but it's nice at times to go into just different areas of it. And I think we have tonight. I've really enjoyed it. Despite being quite annoyed, you know, and I'm a bit with you, Shani. I'm kind of going Chelsea next Sunday. Like, not that I need something to. I think that everyone needs something to just go, you know what, we're going to Chelsea, we're getting these two players in, right? They might play, you don't know, but everyone kind of needs something. And look, there's loads of people there that are just, you know, cannot wait for next Sunday to come, you know what I mean? And when Sunday comes, I'll be there, I'll be ready to go. But there is a bit, I think, of everyone where you're going into the season, but you're trudging into the season at the minute, where you should be bouncing in, and we need something to give us that little bit of a bounce.
Do you not think it could be a lot worse than Chelsea,
What do you mean?
who are playing?
I don't even know who Chelsea have anymore, because I'm you see going back to Shawnee's point on the game being in tatters, like there's fellas being mentioned playing, and I feel a bit like Phil Casey, to be honest with you, and I'm not like Phil Casey where I do football really interests me, but like there's genuinely fellas and I'm going, what? He's playing for them, and I genuinely am like that, and that's not me being ignorant or trying to be fucking edgy Guerrero. It's just like, what, like, when did that happen? Do you know what I mean? Or like, or somebody hasn't moved, and I'm going, no, he definitely went there. No, he didn't go in the end, and it just seems to go on for ages. Chelsea stuff, I watched them against Newcastle when they played them in America, maybe 10 days ago. Some brilliant young footballers they have, like some brilliant ones, but they look a bit like, I'm looking at them going, I don't know who these are. And if you don't know who they are, they probably haven't played an awful lot for Chelsea. And it's not like they're all new signings. You know, it's a bit of a mad one, Chelsea. I don't know what way it's going to go with them. They seem to be just throwing money at it. And it feels like one of those projects that comes to massive fruition in 2-3 years' time. But football doesn't allow you 2 to 3 years' time. And Chelsea have already proved that by spending 600 million and then trying to fucking get it all back. Do you know what I mean? So they didn't give themselves time, but they seem to be on a trajectory where it needs time. Do you know what I mean?
But
so
at the risk of sitting here next week with egg on my face and I know I threw the High Park shout out there. There's probably 10 teams in the league that I'd prefer to play Chelsea ahead of maybe 10 other teams in that league.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you said you watched them in pre-season. Like they've probably got about 3 or 4 players in the first team that they've picked that nobody knows, and then you look at the bench, and it's and that's probably disrespectful to the lads that are playing for Chelsea. But I'd much I'd much prefer to play Chelsea than to be playing Brighton in the first game of the season.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe so, and but then again, there's a bit of the unpredictability about Chelsea that I'm kind of wary of as well. They could turn up and we could batter them, or they could turn up and be all off the wall mad, and we don't know what way to deal with them. Do you know what I mean? But look, we're going to get out of here. That's about an hour ish. Yeah, we're bang on the hour. Shawnee, anything else before we go?
No, that's it.
You happy?
That's it.
You alright?
Same show, different shovel.
Yeah, it's like Trigger. Had the same brushing and only Fools and Horse for years. Just had 11 different handles, 14 different heads. Emma, anything else before we go?
No, I think it was around about Wednesday or Thursday. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, Shawnee, fucking relax, will you? He was losing the plot altogether.
No, Shawnee's
And
had it.
now I'm right on his coat.
No,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
I'm-
yeah.
now
You're
I'm-
saying that, Emma.
now I'm right on
Now
his-
he's sitting beside
No,
him
no,
going, you're dead
now
right.
I'm right on your coattails. I'm like, fuck.
You're saying that, but I actually wasn't losing the head because it's just, again, it's a fucking merry-go-round of the same shite that what I used to listen. And the only thing that annoys me more than fucking perpetual negativity
Wow.
is perpetual positivity. When I think fucking balance is needed in all things, but to
Yeah.
go overboard going, oh, this and you can do this and we can do that. Give us a fucking break. Stop, call it as it is. Simple as that. That's all you can do at the end of the day. Doesn't make you any less of a supporter by fucking
No, just be
high horsing
honest.
it and grandstand. Just fucking tell us what you really think. And stop the bleeding cheerleader bollocks. Because
Well,
that's
it.
worse than
I
the
hit
little fucking.
I hit peak perpetual Sean ability around about yesterday when we had nothing done. I was like, you know what, I think Shawnee might be right here.
You might be onto something.
And I think someone said it earlier on. It's like if I start fucking worrying, everybody should start worrying.
Yeah, well,
But,
look, you
yeah.
have Hoiberg as your number one target, so we're worrying about you fucking a long time, to be honest with you. Let me see. Philly McGarn says, my wife is doing my head in. Get on the cans, fuck it, lads, enjoy it. Okay, fair enough. Enjoy
Billy,
the cans, Philly.
that sounds like something. That sounds like something that's read out the start of a fucking Netflix documentary where some fella absolutely brains the missus. Everyone had to look into it.
Yeah, just stay on the cans, Philly. Stay on the cans. Paul Gormley says, relax, Johnny, we're winning the league. You see, there's the positivity. Paul Gormley, absolutely baiting you with that. Let me see. Stephen Kemp says, Sean is absolutely right. There's no plan. Doesn't seem it at all. We have handled the last 4 transfer windows appallingly. You make arguments over transfer windows, and I've no problem with that. I just think this one is just a different level of loss of control, and I think that's what it is. And maybe they try to take some back during the week. My best case scenario: 2 players signed by Tuesday. That's my best case scenario. I think if people thinking, when the season starts and then you'll do something with the 31st. There's no evidence there. There's just no evidence there. And the process of what's going on this summer is the most worrying bit for me. Spending the money, yeah, make the arguments, but the process and the whole thing around Henderson and Fabinho, where I was kind of going, give them a bit of time. The bit of time is kind of gone there. Who starts tomorrow, Gav? Says Sascop. I haven't a clue. We'll watch it and we'll see how we get on. Rest of the week, we'll start previewing the season. We're definitely going to start doing prediction stuff for the rest of the season. If any transfer stuff happens, we will do that. Look, I've loved this summer because I think the shows we've done have been brilliant. But I just want to get back to Friday where I know how my weekend looks for shows and how the week starts to finish up, because I can plan, because I've been winging it every single day since the end of last season. But I think we've done a good job in winging it, in fairness. So when this week there'll be loads of previews and different things, but then we're back into it then, and we'll settle down into what we usually do. That's about it. Thanks a million to Shawnee. Thanks a million to Emmett. There was loads and loads and loads of you watching. Loads and loads and loads of you liked. 2 people didn't. Fair play. But hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon. And you'll know every time we go live. That's been the Fatback 4. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.